This is the Earth, and it's a scale model. If this Earth in the year 2008 began 4 billion years ago, which is what science says happened, it came out of an explosion in the universe. The formation of this rock that we call our home began 4 billion years ago. Okay, so this is a scale model. Now imagine, if you will, that it has oceans and it has an atmosphere. At this size, the atmosphere, to the extent of the place in the atmosphere where we can go out to the furthest reaches of the atmosphere and still breathe, to the greatest depths of the ocean where there's life. In this size Earth, that space is about 1/16 of an inch. Now the point I'm making with this basketball is this: we're talking about changing minerals, metals, and fossil fuels into things that we use. What do you think happens to those metals, minerals, and fossil fuels when we change them? They have 1/16 of an inch of space that they can either go into the water, the deepest depths of the ocean, which I believe is, what's the Marianas Trench, 19,000 feet deep? And we can go how high up in the atmosphere and still breathe? 19,000 feet. We can't breathe underwater without some sort of special apparatus, and there's no way we can go 19,000 feet. We can go up to Everest, up on Mount Everest, and we can breathe, not very well, but we can breathe on Mount Everest. So 1/16 of an inch space around this size planet. It took 4 billion years for it to get sweet enough to change all the gases, all the toxic stuff, all the soupy mess, till we came along about 10,000, 15,000 years ago. It took billions of years to sweeten this planet enough for us to make it livable, or for us to emerge and be able to live here. And in just a few thousand years, on that span of time, just a tiny little piece of time that we've been here, we've changed everything back to a point where it's become a soupy mess where we can hardly, in some places, hardly breathe because of the toxicity. I mean, how many of you saw the Olympics and watched what was going on in China with the air? And that was after how many days of taking millions of cars off the streets, shutting down industry, only to go back to that same thing. And my point there being, you know, we've come to an age of consuming so much and so fast, and we're turning it so quickly into what eventually will be an unlivable mess. Meeting the needs of our generation without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So that begs the question, what are our needs? And are wants the same as needs? You know, so, you know, again, we need water, we need clean air, we need fertile soil. You know, I think in a lot of ways, you know, we're all stuck on this planet together. We need each other. So when we look at sustainability, it's not just about the environment, it's about society, it's about a social connection.